This is session 104. Who would like to give a recap of 103?
Let's see. T-Hole was reborn. Uh, he uh, he was reborn into the body of the first emperor of Thul, and
Yeah.
with the exception that his eyes were pitch black. I forgot the black that doesn't have any light. That the name of that black, but
Vanta Black,
Vanta black. Yeah.
Black
Technically,
2.0.
yeah, technically darker than Vanta Black.
Yeah.
Okay.
Black 2.0 is technically darker than Vanta Black.
And T-Hole's his urn that he's been carrying, with a little bit more diligence than Darius carried that assassin around with his beating heart, and then it stopped beating. And then as soon as that happened, a pillar of fire and a following and an ensuing shockwave erupted in the distance and then blew over us. We went through the gates of Sewell, and it was similar to when we traveled through the void, where we didn't have bodies, but we just had our thoughts and our consciousness. We were just walking straight north, and we eventually landed into the the Demiplane of the Scorpions, and we started getting surrounded by scorpions, and we were trying to figure out what to do. So then we were talking. We talked. Someone materialized. I think it was like a dust person, or some spirit, and was telling us that the Scorpion Queen, this was her domain, and we wouldn't be able to leave without her blessing. And we were asked to provide a gift, and of course, we only expected to bring a gift to the Southern Sage. We weren't anticipating this would be like Hanukkah or something. So we didn't have really a gift to give, and we debated for a while about what gift to give, and ultimately we came to know we stalled long enough that we were able to get away with just telling a story each. And so Clave told his story, which villainized Zarius, and she really liked it. T-Hole talked about Itaran beating Temple 1 and infiltrating the Duergarn. And Zarius told us about the tale of Mordenkainen's manor. Aurelia talked about the Wand of ED.
It's a very floppy wand.
Yeah, did not get stiff applause. Then we learned a bunch of stuff. After that we feasted together, and she told us what she knew, or at least what she wanted to tell us what information she wanted to depart with. We learned that Rary was the same as Neniac Nadom, which was actually Mordenkainen. And we learned that what Neniac Nadom, his part in the War of Flame and Sorrow. We learned that Lucirosi and Robilar they're either the same people or similar people. We also learned to not look at the southern sage, so to avert our gaze when we get there. And we learned that the jar that T-Hole's heart is in is carrying the only strain left of the Daragul.
Not necessarily the only strain, as there are a few of those ghouls still out there, but a potent strain.
Yeah, it's
A potent strain. So perhaps
Yes, if
super
we can
AIDS.
or if we can combine it with the wand of ED, we can fix the wand.
so yeah, we slept for the night, and then we are headed back. We're heading northeast ish. Yeah, that's pretty much what we had. What happened, without going into too much gory details.
Right. So one other thing to clarify, just because it affects Clave, is that the Pasha, she called him the lieutenant, but his official title was Pasha of Ifrix, who was conducting this war of flame and sorrow, had been imprisoned in a place that the changelings call the Great Colony, which Mordenkainen sort of gifted to them. It's not a demiplane in the spirit world, but it is akin to a demiplane that's adjacent to the material world. And it was a group of changelings who ultimately had chased out a bunch of the other changelings from that area, who probably released the Pasha, and are probably not having a good time as a result, given the Pillar of Flame. Although they are also a group that worships Thurisdan, so
So what you're saying is they brought it upon themselves.
right. Near as you could tell, they brought it upon themselves. So you've crossed back over into the spirit world, and you no longer have your bodies. You could see the sand around you, and the mountains are, at least the foothills, are starting to pick up as you approach what you imagine to be the mountains in the real world. Occasionally you come across giants and demons, but they seem to be completely unaware of you, as they are still located in the material world, and you are, functionally speaking, ethereal relative to them. If you were to come across one that had true seeing, they probably could see you, but so far you have not. And as you continue to move on, you again see off to the sides of your path, there are sort of islands of light, not all multicolored. Sometimes you'll see like bright orange and red, sometimes blue, sometimes multicolored, but they flash around you almost like stars, although usually only briefly visible from specific parts of your path ahead of you. You also realize almost immediately as you leave the Scorpion Queen's lair that you can faintly see ahead of you a white line of what appears to be mist or smoke that seems to be marking the path so that you don't have to stray from it unless you choose to. And that was not there when you had originally crossed through the gates into the spirit world. And you also see that the tether that was binding you to the gates, it doesn't actually back up directly along your trail. It is curved behind you, and at this point misses the island universe that the Scorpion Queen was in. But you imagine it just sort of disappears into the distance as far as you can perceive it. You imagine it's still tying you to the gate. It's just not necessarily on the path that you traveled initially.
So we didn't need to go there after all.
It's not clear what would have happened if you decided to deviate from the path. You just imagine that you could probably follow this path back if you had to.
Yeah,
Well, she said that those guys didn't enter her domain. The ones who entered before us. So I don't know if maybe they're just not following the path properly and that's just going to get them killed. I don't know.
yeah.
Or maybe
Uh,
she moved her domain into the path specifically to encounter us.
Maybe, I don't know. Here's a question. Can we hear those demons and giants from
No. There's you no longer have bodies essentially. So even saying that you can see them is a little bit of an interpretation. You can perceive them in some way. But it's a very ghostly sort of experience. If you know, they appear to be sort of translucent echoes of what you would see if you were in the material plane. But no, you can't make out what they're saying to the extent that they're talking.
Okay. Darn.
So you are wind up traveling. You don't find yourselves getting tired or thirsty or hungry, very similar to the way it was when you were initially in the spirit world. But you do know that this is a much longer leg of the journey. And you are traveling for at least for well more than a day. And at this point, I need someone to roll me a d12.
I can do that. 10.
Okay. Traveling for another 2 days, nothing of note seems to happen. But ahead of you, you do begin to make out what you perceive as it appears to be an entrance back into the material plane, and it is right on your path.
Um, and so it's right on our path, as in like the trail we're following leads directly to it.
Yes.
Does the path go beyond it?
You don't, it appears to disappear the moment it crosses the threshold. This, like when you were approaching the world of the Scorpion Queen, you couldn't see past the entrance to it. It was essentially just a wall of multicolored light. Here, it almost looks to you like it's just you take one step and suddenly you'll be in the material plane again. But you definitely see deserts and hills ahead of you. And in the far off distance, you can see mountains, not even that far off, a couple miles perhaps.
Um,
So Clay would chime in and say, wait a minute. This seems to lead back to our world, but I thought the Southern Sage's lair was not on our world. I thought it was a separate little demiplane.
Perhaps this is a demo plane that's designed to look like our world.
Is there any way we would be able to tell the difference?
Yeah, sure. Everyone can make me a perception check.
Kurt, can you roll it for me? I'm beating Maddox.
Sure.
Thanks. Oh, and she threw up.
Lovely.
That was impressive force, Maddox.
So yeah, nobody, you can't really tell. There's nothing out of place about it. You've not seen this location that you're supposedly in.
Does it seem to mesh as far as like terrain?
I mean, it looks like, so as I said, you've not seen this particular location. It just looks like desert, with mountains beginning in the distance.
Well, it seems that this must be the way. We've been,
Have we
I see no other way other than moving forward.
have we apparently went there? I feel this is soon. I don't think we've gone the right amount of.
Oh, this is
Paces.
like 3 days after.
Let's see, let's look at the,
Is that right? Does that sound right?
I mean,
3 days. Can we cloud form in here?
there's like 40,000 like king's paces, right?
yeah, and we had 20,000 to get to the Scorpion, so
20,000 king steps, completely different.
God. King strides. Okay, so yeah, we had 20,000 king strides, now 40,000 king steps, which is presumably less than a stride by some measure.
One just indicated a limp, a veering of direction, and the other actually was the distance. Right?
Well, this
Yeah, I
says,
mean, you can make me a survival check to see, like, to see whether or not you would have noticed if the path was leading you somewhere other than the place you wanted to go.
I think I did it.
Yeah, so
Nice.
you're pretty sure the path was spot on. It's the same direction you would have walked otherwise. And nothing says this is necessarily the end of your journey. It's just another demiplane in between you and your destination potentially, or it's back into the material world and then figure out where to go from there.
Well,
T-hole pipes up. Aurelia's map has something, it has something about the mountains of the spirits and to not enter there. So perhaps like this is the way, but we shouldn't go much further, at least continuing into whatever those mountains are in the background.
find this map again.
That makes sense. I mean, we've been following this path anyways. We might as well see it through.
Mountains of the spirits. Oh, yeah, I don't know. The father sleeps. What was that again? Did we figure that out?
That's where I think that's where we want to go.
Just seems weird. It's a weird way to say it.
So T-hole is going to step through.
And Clay will follow.
I'll go.
Darius, okay.
Time to roll new characters.
So as you pass through, almost immediately you're hit with the stench of battle. Like you can smell blood and shit everywhere. And as you sort of cross through the outer boundary and your bodies again reform, immediately you see the landscape shift in front of you. right in front of you, there is an enormous gold and an onyx sphinx, or at least a giant cat, as it's actually cat-headed, not human-headed. And bodies just strewn everywhere, mostly of dragonborn, but you also see giants. You see the carcasses of some of those flying snake creatures, several large cages, mostly empty, one of them still filled with dragonborn, are strewn about, and you can hear the sounds of fighting probably like 150 feet off, behind, however, the giant paws of this cat statue.
I look behind to see if we see the ethereal plane still.
Actually, you do not. It just seems to stretch off. Although you notice that the desert appears to be discolored in the far distance. It's almost as if the sand around you is made more of metal. And so the desert behind you is highly reflective.
Hmm.
We've
certainly entered another demiplane. The prisoners that they're here on this side of the statue.
They're everywhere. You can see bodies stretching out in front of you for quite a distance, for hundreds of feet.
The cage, though.
The cages are all probably like the closest one is probably 60 feet away from you or so. The furthest one is maybe 150 feet that you can see.
Is anybody alive in them?
Yes, one of the cages about midway, maybe 100 feet away, seems as though you can see some people moving about in it, all of whom appear to be dragonborn.
Yeah. Do any of these are the dragonborn bearing emblems, or insignia, or what?
They're
And-
pretty far away to see emblems. You know, at 100 or so feet. They, from what you could tell, they appear to be in rags, and they appear to be terrified.
We should be cautious, but perhaps skirt around and get a better view.
And the sounds of combat sound like they're coming from somewhere near that cage.
Yeah.
At which point you hear the roar of what sounds like a lion.
Does it sound familiar?
Um, it sounds like it could have been Lucerosi, but like a much older Lucerosi.
Took up smoking or something?
He's just
Right.
way more drinking and smoking. Nimrod did that to him.
Well, Kexicus did it.
That damn kid. That kid's a menace.
see, is there
You're thinking there's just one?
It has. I don't think it's been long enough for even the first one to have been born yet. I don't think it's been.
So, Clave is gonna cast invisibility on himself and try to run up to the cage of the Dragonborn.
Okay. So you start moving. Once you clear the paws of this cat statue, you can see a white, very large, much bigger actually than Lucerosi was, figure of a lion-headed warrior who is fighting one of those flying snakes. He is completely soaked in blood, but generally looks like this. including the little nipple cups.
Very important in combat.
Yes. Sand on the
Excellent.
nipples.
Not
Don't want
good.
sand on the nipples.
Mm-mm.
I don't know if that's an appropriate number of nipple cups, though. I mean, it is a cat.
Fair.
The
But
others
a
are underneath the
humanoid-
belt.
Humanoid cat, yes.
The others were
Hidden-
surgically removed.
A nippelectomy?
So that he could fit in with society.
Mm-hmm.
So while they're caught up in battle, Clave is going to whisper,
So you can also see that there are other free Dragonborn who seem as if they're considering whether or not to join in the fight, apparently against the Lion Man. But the only thing it seems to be fighting now is one of the snake creatures. Using a flaming glaive.
Clave is going to say, we're here to help. Can somebody tell me what's happening?
So how loud are you saying this? Because you're saying it over the sound of this fight that's about 15 feet away from you.
I'm trying to get as close as I can to one of the Dragonborn, so maybe like over here and trying to whisper it.
Okay, roll me persuasion just to overcome this guy's terror.
Okay. Um. Do I use the action point?
Snake nines.
You know, we need information. We need to know what we're getting into, so I am going to use an action point.
So the Dragonborn in front of you, still terrified, says, "Is someone there? Is someone there? Let us
Shh.
out.
I'll let you out, but you need to let me know what's happening.
We're slaves. We're being dragged through. I don't even know where we were, but we entered this new desert and were pounced on by that lion man. The fight's been going on for hours. They've been releasing Dragonborn to help them fight, and everyone's being slaughtered. We just want to run. Can you open up the cage?
Is there a key?
There's a lock on the far side.
Yes,
The
but
lock
is
is-
there a key? Like I ask them, do they know where the key is? Or
One
who
of
has
the
the key?
one of the giants had the key, but I'm not sure which of the bodies is his.
All right, so I'll rummage through this one and see if I can find a key.
Sorry, which one?
This guy.
Okay. You it takes a little bit of time because it's a giant,
Yeah.
but you don't find a key.
Okay. What's everybody else doing?
Yeah, this is going to take him like a minute to search the body.
I was also gonna kind of sneak closer just so I can have a better idea as to what's happening.
So where are you sneaking to?
Well, currently I'm right here, but I don't know how big this statue is. If I could see past.
So the
details.
hands themselves, the height of the paws of this thing stand about, and you realize this is like it's semi-humanoid, this cat, but mostly feline in appearance. But the height of the hands stand about 7 feet up, at their thickest. Once you start getting to the edges of the paws, it goes down from there.
Do I recognize this statue as someone, perhaps within the pantheon,
Make me a religion check.
or no, someone of note within it? I'm not very good at religion.
I'll give you advantage.
Okay, good.
So, you're pretty sure this isn't a deity that your people would recognize, but you're pretty sure that this is Pasht, the cat god that was once worshipped in Thult.
Hmm. The one that's been trying to get the attention of
Aurelia,
Aurelia.
who's also sometimes called the Cat Lord.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you get to where you are, you can like look over these paws and see this cat-like figure battling the giant snake. Over the course of the minute, another one of the giant snakes would have come up from underneath him and tried to swallow him. But he is big and fat, but surprisingly agile and able to leap about 30 feet into the air to avoid being swallowed.
Well, I'm not a fan of these devil things, so I'm half tempted to help the lion guy. um the lion guy, how about him? Like, I mean, he's a cat person, so maybe he's just related in some way to this cat lord.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell from the description, this is probably Robilar, unless there's a different white lion fat guy.
I'm gonna need a reminder of what we know about Robilar.
All that was really said about him is he's a servant of Neniac Nadom and somehow related to Lucirosi.
Gotcha. Well,
Oh,
then
you would
good.
also, I mean, you would also know from Aurelius' jaunt into the future, at some point in that timeline, he betrayed Mordenkainen to Vecna so that Vecna could get the Wand of Eternity's doorstep and use it to release Thurisdan so that he could attempt to absorb all of Thurisdan's power and become a god. So somehow Robilar facilitated that. But that would have been, according to the Queen of Scorpions, that hadn't happened yet, so far as she was aware.
So okay, so the cat lord is attempting to do that.
You don't know that Robilar is related to the Cat Lord. Maybe.
Okay,
Makes sense.
got it. Well, I mean, it seems like he has fucking single-handedly wiped out all these fucking giants, so I don't want to be on his bad side. So maybe I'll help him. We're gonna be found by this motherfucker either way. Oh man. Even still, I don't know. What else would we do?
T-Hole's, so what T-Hole's gonna do is he's going to get close to one of these giant bodies and he's going to inspect it. So he's gonna like go through it's any of its belongings, looking for any sort of sign like what tribe or clan or kind of organization this giant belongs to. T-Hole's trying to figure out whether we're actually on the material plane or if we're in like a Demiplane.
Yeah, so now that you're here, and you could see that the desert is in fact sort of metallic, it doesn't feel like the material plane.
Okay.
It feels like it's a pretty good attempt at a facsimile of the material plane, at least visually.
Oh, I see. I thought it was the desert was metallic only behind us, not like all around.
Yeah, even the sand underneath your feet now is metallic, and so heavier than you would expect from sand.
Gotcha. Okay. What yeah, I think Teal is still gonna still try to see if these giants, like what clan these belong to, or if they have any sort of indicators about their lineage. Even
It
if
would-
this is like even being that this is not the material world, like maybe these are, you know, are derived or based off of something like the ongoing conflict.
Right. So all of these giants are in very similar armor. It is essentially just a mixture of light chain and leather. You don't find none of them. The one you're next to doesn't like have any papers or any particular badges. It's the same type of giant you fought at the gate originally,
Okay.
which means it's some sort of it's fire giant related, but also possibly like part storm giant.
Okay. Yeah, I guess then T-Hole's going to be catching up to Zarius, looking around, see if he can see any sign of Clave. And not so eager to jump into battle after what happened last time. But especially with one of these things.
Yeah. You do find, however, that the giant you're looking at has a number of gold pieces and platinum pieces, a deck of playing cards, an ivory game piece, and several tin discs that look like coins. But you're not sure. They may be game pieces as well.
Teal would definitely take the gold.
Okay, so
Wouldn't
there's
they be real big? Like plate size gold pieces? 'Cause
these
for
are
giants?
yeah, these apparently are Dragonborn currency.
Mm.
So they're normal size gold pieces, but there's 150. It's all in one bag. 150 gold pieces and 30 platinum pieces.
Sweet.
This is so. I don't remember the last time anybody was like, "Oh, they have money. I'll take their money."
I think the last time I remember us running into money was with the dragon horde,
Right,
and there was like too much of it to take out.
right. But Clave managed to convert a bunch of it into shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's Aurelia doing?
Just gonna go over and inspect the statue.
Anything in particular you're looking for?
Um, is there, like, is there any kind of vibe or something as I get close to it, that any kind of sensation, any kind of like, or does it look just like some kind of gold, bronze, whatever kind of statue sitting out here?
I mean, it appears to you don't sense anything particularly magical about it. It appears to be an enormous probably religious icon of some sort. Like I said, it's made of gold and black onyx. You do
Okay.
notice when you get closer to it that the eyes seem to have two pitch black gems in them that are probably not onyx because they're as black as T-hole's eyes. But you can see they protrude out of the eye sockets a little bit, and they appear to be like faceted gems of possibly void matter.
Nudge, nudge. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in that. That's not what I expected. So I'm going to try to get a better look at the eyes.
So the eyes, the statue stands about 50 feet tall. So the eyes are probably about 45 feet up.
Okay.
It would be a bit of a you'd have to climb like around the back of it to get up to the head and then down if you were just going to climb up. Or fly up there or something.
That sounds like a great idea. Yes, I will use my Vandor and cast fly on myself and fly up there to look at it.
Okay, so are you taking any special precautions to avoid being seen?
Um, I guess I'll try to move. I don't know if you can fly stealthily. I mean, I try to like
That's-
move up like the side of the arm and then come around. I'm not gonna like fly out from the front, maybe like from the side,
Mhm.
not make it obvious, at least. Because I can't.
Okay, so roll me stealth. Although you are sort of exposed once you get around into the front, so roll me with disadvantage.
Roll up there like, hey guys, look at his eyes.
So no one seems to be paying any attention to you as you do this. And at that point, you see the lion man beats one of the snakes into the ground with his glaive. And as it tries to, it is essentially upside down on its belly. As it tries to flip around and raise up again, he takes what appears to you to be more opportunity attacks than one, and he manages to kill it. But there is another one that previously tried to swallow him. That's still up, and he's fighting. And you can all act again. So we'll start with Glaive.
So if I'm looking at these giants and I try to determine one that's maybe more likely to have a key. Can I make that kind of
Yeah,
maybe
make me
an
an
insight?
investigation check.
Okay.
Investigation.
Come here, Alex.
So your best guess would be this one, as it appears to have been near one of the gates for the cages here.
Okay. Alright, then I'll go to that one. I'll start searching it.
Okay, make me an investigation check.
Well, well, the first one was good.
I'm not using an action point on that.
So it is taking you more time to basically, right? It's not a question of finding what this thing has on it. It's just a question of timing. So
Mhm.
you're having difficulty opening up this sack on its side. But you could definitely hear things moving around in it. When you eventually get it open, it takes about another minute. You do find a key that appears to be roughly the same size as the locks. I mean, it's, like the size of a forearm kind of key, as opposed to a little tiny key that this thing would have to then fumble with. You also find there is a very large block of soap, some sort of clockwork device. You're not actually sure what it would do. A journal that's written in giant, and a compass.
Can I just take the bag?
Yeah, you can take the bag.
Alright. Um. So then, well, how heavy is the bag? Is this a
It
giant
weighs,
bag?
right, it weighs about 15 pounds.
Okay, the bag with all the items in it is about 15 pounds.
Yep.
Okay. Alright, that's not bad. Alright, so I'll carry that over, and when I'm able to, my next action will be to go and unlock the cage.
Okay, Zarius, what are you doing?
I guess I'm just kind of examining this fight to see if I want to try and step in. I don't know, because I might know roughly where Clave went, considering he just kind of ran off. I could probably just like see his footsteps maybe, but in the
Right,
sand.
he is stepping in sand.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Do I see Aurelia? you would definitely see Aurelia with your passive perception as she flies up to the black gems of the eyes.
I don't know if I do. My passive's only 20.
Yeah, but she had disadvantage on her check because she's
Oh,
flying.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Then I'll make sure there's like nothing. Um, if I were to cast a spell, would it be obvious? Yeah, probably. Um, yeah, I think I'll just kind of wait and see how things play out. Um, I think the moment anything goes sideways, I have some spells prepared that should hopefully protect us. So we'll see how that goes.
So make me an insight check.
Okay.
Oh, hold on a second. Let me send you a message. About that point in the fight, you all see the lion leaps over the snake, landing close to where it was when you first saw it fighting. It then kills two of these dragonborn nearby before swinging back and attacking the snake.
Do those Dragonborn look like they're about to attack?
They look like they were considering attacking,
Okay.
but that has sort of convinced the other three just to flee.
Right. That's what I expect. Good choice.
And so as one starts to leave, the lion uses another opportunity attack to swing at it and kill it. Also reducing its speed to 0 because it has Sentinel.
Eh.
And then the second, it also has 10-foot reach because it's using a glaive. And the same thing happens to the next one. So you're keenly aware that somehow this motherfucker used at least like 4 opportunity attacks this round because he's Robilar. So T-Hole, what are you doing?
Teal is going to. Oh, let's see. Far. How tall are these hands?
In the middle, they're about 7 feet tall. Out towards the edges of the individual fingers, they get somewhat lower. So like 4 down to about 1 foot at the very tip.
Gotcha. So I think. Uh, Man, so Deal is thinking about just making his appearance known to this muscular cat. Kind of along the lines with Zarius was thinking of like trying to help. Obviously he doesn't need help, but like just setting the press, setting the tone that we are not allied with any of these creatures.
Well, the Dragonborn aren't exactly friendly towards the demons. So I might actually yell out to seeing him just fucking wrecking the Dragonborn that are just kind of maybe considering it and then them deciding, oh yeah, no, this is not what we want for sure. I would just kind of yell out, "Do not engage him! Run!"
To the Dragonborn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disengage, then run. Then
He has Sentinel.
you bastard.
I mean, 2 of them are running and managed to get away from him. All the other ones are either in one cage or dead as near as you could see.
well, take the good with the bad, I guess.
Like you said, the smell of blood and shit is just everywhere because of the number of bodies.
So I guess what Teal's gonna do is that he can make it definitely to here, going just straight across the palms, backs of the hands, with spending Kai point for step of the wind. So he can
Parkour.
dash.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not really parkour when you can run up the walls to begin with.
Actually, he's not gonna spend a Kai point. What he's gonna do is just use the dash action, assuming that we have like a full turn, and then I'm gonna use a bonus action to engage my arms and visage, and I will call out. Let's see. Am I
By the way, I can't automatically set your token to like have dark vision, but I can do this so that this is what you look like with your arms.
That works. Perfect.
All you have to do it yourself is you just right click the token and go down to the bottom where it says multi-sided. You basically have two tokens tied to your character sheet. And you just choose whether you're have the blue glowy ring around you or the other ring, the gray ring around you.
Oh, I see. That's cool.
I'd originally tried to set it up so that one of the tokens had dark vision, but it won't let me do that. It will only let me have one setting on dark vision. So I still have to manually reset that. Doesn't really matter here though. It's fairly brightly lit. The other reason you realize you're not in the real world is you don't see like a sun. It is just like the sky appears to be clear above you, but it's just a sort of diffuse light coming down.
Gotcha. Yeah, so Teal gets up here and he's within 30 feet. So he's going to use the word of the spirit, since he has his masked arms active, and he's going to speak speak directly to Robilar, telepathically. Or yeah, I guess I interpret it as telepathically, since only they could be able to hear you. But he says, T-Hole says, "Do you require help killing these demons? We are their enemy."
Let's say this, can he respond to you silently or no? Guess not.
No, it just says that, yeah, it looks like it's a one-way.
You then all hear him respond with, any help would be appreciated.
Yeah, well, that's T-Hole's actions. So he will wait till next turn before jumping in.
He all just gives a thumbs up.
Cool, bro.
Mentos.
Be right there.
I'm just imagining the Mentos commercial.
So Aurelia, you are up around the eyes as you see T-Hole run across. You realize like these do appear to be gems. It is hard to make out their edges because everything is so black that although you can see it when you're sort of framing it against some other substance, just inside the eye socket itself, it is just pitch black. But these are, these gemstones are roughly like the size of you, each one. Like 5 feet by 5 feet by 6.5 feet.
So if I get really close to it and reach out my scepter, does it actually hit something or does it pass through it or?
No, it touches something.
Okay. Do I have any sense? Can I sense the void here or is it just the gem? And
So looking into the gem, you do see, very occasionally you'll see in the distance either a flash of something, usually something purple, or wisps of purple energy that float in front of the crystal. And it is very reminiscent of the purple energy of the void that you would occasionally see and that would crystallize into those creatures.
hmm. So I will begin to fly down to the ground. I probably can't get there in this turn.
No, you can definitely fly to the ground in this turn.
Okay, I'll fly to the ground.
Okay, so Clave, you managed to open the cage.
Okay. And I'll shout, "Go, get out of here, go."
And the lion definitely sees the cage door opening and lets out a roar, seemingly frustrated. And with that, we should roll for initiative.
Do the Dragonborn, do they look like they're going to fight or run away?
You're guessing they're going to run away.
Okay.
Oh.
Where's my token? So, what was it? Here or here's where the lock was?
No, it would be over this side.
Oh, okay.
So the demon continues to attack him. Robilar, I mean. Not very effectively, though. So Robilar is going to jump in a way that doesn't take any attacks of opportunity here. And immediately try to kill these two that are running away. Pretty easily killing both of them. And then he'll use the rest of his movement to move here and stand in front of the opening to the cage.
Okay.
Aurelia,
see
your
what's up.
turn.
Um,
I mean, he doesn't seem to have recognized that there's an invisible person there.
Yeah. No. I have something in my pocket and I can't wait to use it.
So I think back to the walking the streets where I believe all the Dragonborn were strung out on Pharaoh dust.
Yep.
Um, and the Seeress. And I begin to think back to what she said, and the fact that she died. Maybe there was something in her words. Maybe I shouldn't dismiss what she said. So I will fall prostrate in front of the cat lord. Hmm. And I will say, if you are truly the cat lord and you are of the void, then I am your vessel.
Okay, let me send a message to Aurelia.
Oh, good. It's coming to me, not anybody else.
Yeah. I don't think I know cat speak. So
Yet.
Right.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Slave.
Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move away. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then, because I think I read somewhere that Robilar is dumb. So I'm going to cast Phantasmal Force on him and make him believe that he is inside an Iron Maiden.
Bogus, dude.
And so I become visible.
So so you cast the spell and you can see the the Iron Maiden form around him. And then
Only
he
he can
uses,
see it.
okay. You can see him tighten up as if he's being encased in something. And then he uses a legendary save to get himself out of that problem.
Okay. Well, then I will use an action point to cast it again.
And he will have be forced to use a second legendary save. Get himself out of this problem.
Gotta eat up those legendary saves.
And Clave will shout, "Let them go, they're just slaves."
And now that he's able to see you, he will say, "These are sacrifices to the Southern Sage. They need to be wiped out so that they can't be used in that fashion."
Just let them go. They won't be used in that fashion.
Go
I'm
where? Do you think they're going to wander through the spirit world and make their way back to the material plane?
Teal's like, yeah, probably. Probably die, but maybe they'll make it.
They have a
Um,
tether. They have a tether just like us, presumably. They know how to get back.
I'm also going to use my bonus action, since I still have a bonus action, to turn into I'll use this token, but I really just turn into a derpy looking version of Robilar.
You look like my son, worthless and weak.
I
Yo.
respond, "Durr."
Sound like my son too. Teal.
T-Hole's going to, let's see, he's going to. No, he's gonna avoid getting close for now. And he pulls out one of his seeker darts and whispers "seek" to it, seek, and is going to strike the creature from a distance. Actually, no, I'm gonna T-Hole. He's got full health, so he's virile. He's gonna actually go and get within 10 feet of this creature and uses his arms and begin pounding away. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3.
The
So it's-
15 misses, but everything else hit.
Oh, I just get two of them. So the last one doesn't count.
So your martial arts die.
And the martial arts die. Thanks. And that is going to be his turn.
So this one is already it's somewhat beaten up. I shouldn't say pretty beaten up. But it has been hit before. Robilar uses this flaming glaive, and the creature's obviously immune to fire. So he hasn't been doing quite as much damage to the snake creatures as he might have otherwise been. But this thing definitely has slices in it from where it's been hit by him.
Oh, wait. So Kurt, one thing really quickly. I didn't realize I was backing right into this guy.
Mhm.
I don't think Clave would have willingly moved next to him. So can I have moved somewhere else?
I thought you were just being characteristically sacrificial. Yeah, you can move somewhere else.
Okay. Yeah, I'd probably go here because then I have the possibility of getting some cover from the cage.
Or maybe it was like character growth and your character's like, I embrace death now.
Yeah, no, not even a little.
Aurelius
Darius,
Finn
you're right.
rubbing off on me. So the prisoners can't like run past the guy with 5 opportunity attacks around and sentinel. So they are all cowering at the far edge of the cage just to stay away from him. Zarius.
Yes, I mean, I'll express then. They have tethers just as we do. They can get back. They have a path. Leave them be.
How did they get out of this plane?
The way they came in.
You do not understand the nature of these planes.
Then help them. Don't kill them.
They're worthless.
It is not their time.
Seems like it's their time to me.
Then it may be yours. But I will toll the dead on this guy. Actually, I think I gotta do that from my sheet because that's easier from there.
So it
Teal
fails.
Teal's gonna play good cop, and he's like gonna not try to engage the angry thing that just destroyed the creature that just laid waste to all of these giants.
I know.
So
I'm trying not
Zarius
to.
is like, now is your time. Teal's like, oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
So the demon is going to go after its closest target, which is Teal.
Second one hits.
But that's its turn.
And I'm gonna use shoot, which one is it? I'm gonna use my reaction to deflect the fire damage, which I shouldn't have to roll because my monk level's greater than that. So I'll just take the 21.
It's 14, not 21. I'm not sure. Maybe you were looking at the crit
Oh, the
damage.
crit. Yeah, the 5. So I just take the 15 damage.
14.
Oh,
Okay, I see.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
15
sorry.
was on the last attack, which missed. So it's 14 on
Sorry.
the 24.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Robilar's too fat to fit through the door and get inside. So he can pick off this guy. So he will try that. Which I'll almost certainly do. So he kills that one. What the hell? He's gonna charge Clave for opening the door and then doing the derp impression of him.
So the 16 misses. The other one hits.
So make me a deck save.
So wait, minus 31. Okay. and
You're not
prone.
prone. But that's his turn. Aurelia,
All right. Let's see how far this dude is. Um, so the demon is still in the same spot.
so
kinda,
the
sorta.
kind of sort of this was the original demon you saw, but it's dead.
Okay.
This
All
one,
right.
this one erupted out of the sand and has moved around a little bit.
Okay.
Actually, you probably can't see that demon from where you are because this is again like 7 feet tall.
Okay.
I mean, you can fly, you're still flying,
Yeah. So
but you were previously like in prayer, so I assume you were down on the ground.
yeah. So I get up, cover my with my cloak on, and then move a little bit close enough, lift up my head to see what's going on, fly up in the air about 10 feet. And no, I didn't want to do that. Come on. 120 behave. And I will cast the vicious mockery on that thing.
What's the save on vicious mockery?
Wisdom save.
Made it.
Wah, wah. And then I will fly back down behind the big arm of the cat.
Okay. Anything else you're doing?
That's it.
Clave.
Third time's a charm.
And he will use his last legendary save.
God damn it. I'm going to I know I can't get away from him, but I'm gonna at least stand up.
And as you stand up, he takes an opportunity attack.
Yeah. He's swinging at you. Not really anything I've had a proper chance to convey to people. But I have
And,
seen this.
And he is going to just for the heck of it, smite.
All right, so minus 18. All right, so I am 10 points away from death.
And you have to make me another deck save or else he knocks you back down again.
Yeah.
Never gonna get me down like it. Yeah, never gonna keep me down like it. Down.
So
But he's the opposite of that song.
Yeah,
He keeps you down.
yeah.
okay.
Is there anything else you're doing?
Well,
Test and see if he has Mage Slayer too.
Clave is close to death. So he not really thinking clearly and hoping that it doesn't draw yet another attack of opportunity. He's just gonna try and crawl away. So he'll be able to get there.
And when you move, he does take another attack of opportunity. With
Clave's dead.
advantage. Technically unconscious.
You don't have to make the death save yet. It's only at the beginning of your turn.
Yeah, until he uses all 4 attacks to finish me off.
Well, I'm gonna go before then.
Keyhole. So you have seen this. I mean, it's 15 feet away from you.
Yeah. T-Hole's
Oh.
going, T-Hole call out to, well, I guess, would we all know that it's Robilar at this point?
Yeah, I mean,
We
it
had-
matches the description you heard just
Call
2
out to
days ago.
Robilar. And say, we we are not your enemies.
You're here with my son, I assume.
Who is your son?
Lucia Rossi.
Definitely not.
I know your son, but we we traveled once and we were well, I will tell you, we can talk more after we finish this demon.
And the sacrifices.
Not the sacrifices. They will no
Can we
longer
just-
be sacrifices.
Can't we just let them attempt to get back? And if they don't make it, then that's on them.
I feel like you guys are being really cordial with him, considering that he split Clave open and is standing over him, like
Yeah, I
ready
was
to
just-
kill him.
I was just gonna say, and with that, he yanks the glaive out of Clave's back.
And you guys wonder why Clave hates you all.
You don't get any impression that he has changed his mind about killing the sacrifices. But what are you doing, Teal?
That's a good question. Well, I guess I'm gonna focus on what's in front of me and strike the demon creature again. Oh man. Well, gotta take the good with the bad. So imagine the first and the third one hit.
Right. The other two missed.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on. Let me check something. And I'm gonna use Kai Point to attempt a stunning strike. It makes it. And let's see. Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, I think that's that's my turn. And yeah, I'm not gonna go anywhere. So that's it.
The prisoners are going to start to run. Move these dead guys out of the way are going to lose. Oh, that was one of the dead guys. And there's his turn.
Wait, you're not healing me? You're just using Spare the Dying on me?
You're muted, Tony.
You're right. I'm gonna start with the Spare the Dying. You bitched at me the last time I brought you back up, so I'll let you fucking stay down there.
Zarius can't win. Whatever he does, Clave's mad.
uh, and then but my main goal here, and I have action points to adjust as needed. But do I get the sense that Robilar here is humanoid? Can I tell?
You can give me a medicine check.
What's my passive is a 25. Is that enough? Or there's
Yeah,
that.
you think he's probably human.
Cool. Good.
I
Then
mean, he is size large. Like physically, he is bigger than any humanoid you've tended to see, but probably.
as long as he's humanoid, I'm gonna cast Hold Person on him. Wisdom save.
Yeah, except he's actually going to spend a spell slot to counterspell.
The hell kind of caster is this guy? He was a kind of paladin has counterspell. Vengeance.
Who said he's a paladin?
He smited you.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Well, he's a paladin with counterspell.
Right, he's a paladin who works for Mordenkainen. So take away the spell slot.
Okay, sure. That's fine. Then action point. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I look like enough of a threat. Does he look like he's turned his back on Clave?
Yeah, he's now facing, he's actually facing Keyhole at the moment.
So he's not going to attack Clave.
He doesn't look like he's planning on attacking Glaive.
Okay. Maybe I could just kind of use my action point to hold a cure wound spell to where he's like walked away from Clave, and then I will cast cure wounds on him.
Okay, you can do that.
Oh, actually, I can't reach him. That's a touch spell. I guess a heal. I could just do the heal instead. Yeah, so I'll wait. I'll wait till he stepped away. The heal has a 60-foot range, so once he stepped away, I will cast heal on Glaive.
Okay,
Obviously giving 70 hit points in the process.
right. The demon is going to attack Keyhole.
ouch. All those hit. Good high AC. So they always roll higher than it. So I'll use my reaction to. I'll use my reaction to cut the first 4 fire damage.
Okay,
So minus 17. Minus 15. Minus 10. So. Oh, and then minus 2. Also, my token isn't connected to my character sheet.
isn't it?
It is not. At least the health isn't. So like I gave myself 120 hit points and I've been decrementing from that, but it's not actually linked to my character sheet.
You're right, it's not. Now it should be.
Yeah, now it's right. Minus 56. Come on. All right.
So Robilar's turn. Robilar sees all these Dragonborn running away and roars at that, and then moves 10 feet, and then leaps over Zarius. And you can take an attack of opportunity if you want, because it's a slightly different version of his leap move.
Would I still get to heal?
Yeah, you wouldn't lose concentration based on taking an attack of opportunity.
Okay, I just wasn't sure because I think normally rules is written holding the action and then performing that action as a reaction.
I would still allow it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. You're saying that the attack of opportunity is your reaction.
Right.
That's fair. So yeah, you're right. You probably can't.
Okay. Yeah. Then instead, my spell goes off, and
Right.
Clave receives 70 hit points.
And he kills 3 of these guys. Aurelia.
Um. Yeah. Yes. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm gonna like fly up to look for that demon thing again.
Yep.
This time I'm gonna cast Dissonant Whispers on it.
So it failed.
All right. So
So it starts to fly away, and Teal, you can take an attack of opportunity.
I am my reaction spent already for the deflection.
Anything else Aurelia's doing?
um I'll move. Come on. Fly back down and like move down here closer to see what's going on. I'm hearing all this stuff. I've been my attention has been distracted, but now I'm trying to focus on what's going on.
Okay. Clave. So you're still prone, but you're, in remarkably good shape.
Right. So I'm going to use half my movement to get up. And then I'm gonna move 5, 10, 15. And maybe 4th time's a charm. And Phantasmal Force.
It's that hidden legendary save.
Action point.
And so you could see his arms are drawn in as if he is bound by something that he cannot see, or that you cannot see.
Okay. I'm also going to cause that illusion to seem like it's tightening on him to actually pierce him. So to do 1d6 piercing damage.
Okay.
So
What's your ability to turn an illusion real work with this thing?
oh, it doesn't. This doesn't qualify,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's real. I mean, for all intents and purposes, it seems to be real to that guy. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's the important part.
Anything else you're doing?
Nope, that's it.
Keyhole.
So the I guess Teal's gonna go by Furious and Clave and kind of step in between them and he surveys Robilar kind of stiffening and saying, are we really trying to pick a fight with him after he killed? And like he just gestures to all the dead bodies of the giants and the demons.
Did you see him slash me open with his glaive? Or glaive?
Why did you attack him?
I didn't. I opened the door to allow the Dragonborn out, and he decided that they needed to die. I tried to protect them. The magic that I was using was nothing more than to distract him, and he chose to fight. He nearly slayed me. So no, this guy, made his intentions clear. And you can see Clave is he's beginning to have like arcs of black lightning kind of arc along his body as his anger grows, and you can see kind of the area around him darken as if he's beginning to absorb some of the light in the area.
Very well. He just seems like he has a perverted sense of justice. So we're killing him then.
At least subduing him.
Is there? This is much longer than a turn, but so T-Hole is going to try to see if he can figure out a way to. Only there was some way to like transport or like move all these Dragonborn, and just like shove them out of the mirage or out of this Demiplane.
You don't see any, much like when you were in the Scorpion Queen's Demiplane. It appears as though once you're inside, it is much more extensive than it appears to be from the outside. It's bigger on the inside, basically. So if there's an edge, you don't know where it is.
Gotcha.
She opened a crack in the plane so that you could
That's
exit
right.
her realm. But like as near as you could tell, if they just start walking in one direction, they may not even reach an edge. This may be an infinite plane or sphere.
Well, we just need to find whose plane this is.
I hope it's not his. pointing to Robilar's.
If it were, I mean, he would be able to just let them go. It would be unnecessary to kill them. Well, it's the Dragonborn's turn, right?
No, it's T-Hole's turn. He just used this turn so far to run up and talk to you to figure out what he should be doing. He's gonna pull out his one of his darts. And he's gonna whisper seek to it. And he's going to have it fly through the mob of Dragonborn and strike Robilar. That won't break the. It won't
No,
break.
it won't, but also, you know, this is an interesting kind of thing because does Robilar, since he's encased in this Iron Maiden, can he see? Can he react? And or does he take like disadvantage on his dexterity save?
I'd say he takes disadvantage. I mean, this wasn't really designed for this. He is sort of still wearing armor, but I'll just give him disadvantage on his dex save. His dex save is pretty prodigious, though, because he's also got that paladin charisma backup on it.
Yeah, that's got to roll pretty poorly to lose that. So the dart misses. Yeah. So yeah, the dart just misses. And I'm gonna use Kai Point. I've seen this guy do many things. So I'm gonna use a Kai Point to use my bonus action to do the patient defense, so the dodge action. And that will be it.
Okay. The prisoners are all going to start running laterally because they don't necessarily know what the hell's happened to him. There. It's Zarius' turn.
Um, I think. Let me double check this. Damn it! Where the fuck are you? Oh, it's from self. Damn it. Wonder if this would work. Only one way to find out. I cast Banish on him. Banishment.
Hmm.
He disappears.
How long does banish last again? Is it like
I
indefinite?
concentrate for a minute.
And if he's not native to the plane, he doesn't come back.
Yeah. Let me make sure he doesn't get more saves.
Nope.
Yeah. So I will does anybody know if he is native to this plane or to somewhere else?
this is a pocket plane in the spirit realm. I doubt he was born here.
He is not to be trusted.
Clearly. He may be very angry. Especially if he is not native to here, then he is going to stay wherever he is.
Good. And then Clave, the energy that he's like shooting all over his body stops, and he collapses down on his ass and starts kind of breathing and has his head in his hands.
Yeah, I mean, before we do that, Demon Snake disappears into the sand. It's not dead, it just fled.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, no.
I'm still prone.
I just like, look. The snake is still alive. You should get back up.
And it's Aurelia's turn.
Do I sense where it is?
No, I mean, you know it fled what you perceive to be north from where you are.
Okay.
Can I climb up? I mean, I guess I technically still have my movement and stuff, right?
Right.
Can I climb up on this thing?
Yeah.
Off the sand. I'm not detected by whatever this thing is, wherever this thing is. Underneath the fucking sand.
Tremors.
Yeah, fucking tremors. Yeah, exactly. I figure that's probably all I can. I don't know if I could do very much further with the having to climb up on top of this fucking thing. So yeah, I'm good now.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, you know it can burrow, so you're not sure. Once it burrowed into the sand where it was, you're not sure where it went.
Goddamn dragonborn. I'm just gonna be fucking gobbled up with the goddamn thing.
so I'm just gonna fly straight up like 15, 20 since I still have that spell going and look for this thing. I mean, I know it burrowed in the ground, but it may pop up somewhere. I have a better chance of seeing it from up high than I do on the ground.
Right. Clave.
Can I just hold my turn to go later in the initiative?
Sure. Keyhole, what are you doing?
Uh, um, Teal is going to look down at Clave and say, that creature is, if that creature is still out there, we should at least make a move to protect the Dragonborn in case it decides to strike at them.
Got mass banishment.
Teal's gonna he's gonna move to the where the Dragonborn are at. Kind of keep close eye on them. And you know, appear non-threatening and saying, "Oh, I'm not gonna, I'm not like that other guy, the one that just tried to kill you."
I know I have extra arms and I've been punching shit, but I was
And-
punching other, the snakes too.
And utterly black eyes.
Yeah.
So
But
make,
that's
make,
actually a good point, because like with T-Hole's aura, and it's kind of like got this glowing silver, like it really highlights how dark the eyes are, because it almost looks like he's got these pools of black, like utter black, and it like kind of bathed in light.
so make me a persuasion check. Because right now they're still basically panicked and looking to run.
I feel like I have something here. Nope, I only have advantage on intimidation checks, which is
I said stop running.
Yeah, they're still running.
I've figured out what I want to do. Um, so I'll go after T-Hole.
Okay.
Where are you going? I'm not scary. That's all
That's where your intimidation will work, because you can be like, I said I'm not scary.
That's T-Hole's turn.
Okay, so Clave can go.
There's a floor in this cage, right?
Yep.
Clave is getting up and getting in the cage.
There's a roof too. I just can't really put people inside the cage in roll 20 with a roof.
Yeah. And then if there's any action left, I'll also close the door.
Yeah, you're enough to close the door. And then these guys are going to keep running. And Zaris' turn again.
Um, yeah, I mean, it's not like I can cast any spell that requires concentration. So
Well, you might be concerned if the snake comes back that it could break concentration.
I'm very concerned about that. Yes.
Maybe Zarya should get in the cage too. Just lock yourself in for a minute.
Just imagine Clave being like, get your own cage.
Maddox.
No, I think I guess I could do this. This would be funny. I can get myself some temporary hit points. So far we've not noticed any rumblings from under the sand.
No, it hasn't been that long though.
Right. That's a touch spell. Yeah, yeah, fuck it. I guess I'll just give myself some temporary hit points and do second level false life. Getting 10 temporary hit points.
Anything else you're doing?
Nah,
Oops, probably there.
The realm is shifting. The realm is
Yep.
shifting.
Uh-oh. There we go. So you see, or at least anyone who is, let's see, who wouldn't see? Aurelia's in the air. You could probably all make out that the snake creature reappears, swallows this body, and then buries itself in the sand again. And it's Aurelia's turn.
I just like pointed out there.
And then it just vanishes. Right.
Back into the sand, yeah.
All right. So Clave has gone into the cage.
Yep.
And Zarius is on top of the hand, the paw. And where's T-hole is down there. Good.
Yeah, Teal's just he's hanging out in the middle here. He was by Dragonborn, but
Hmm.
not anymore.
So was it a body that was all by itself, or was it in a cluster?
It was by itself.
Hmm.
Oh no. I just learned that Chevy Chase has a TikTok.
Oh no.
Yes. Can you hold Eldritch Blast if I see it and shoot it? I mean, like if it doesn't show up, the
Yes.
spell ends or whatever, right? Like,
Right. Yeah, you can hold Eldritch Blast.
okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna stay up in the air and look around, presumably for this thing to show back up.
What's the range on that?
Is it what, 120?
120.
I don't have anything that adds anything to it.
Wait, I think it might be 150 actually.
I don't think so. I think it's 120.
Yeah, because with Eldritch Spear and Spell Sniper,
it's
it's a
120.
600 range. Oh.
Fireball
yeah,
is the one that's randomly 150 or whatever.
Oh wait, no, Eldritch Spear increases its range to 300 feet, and I assume that doubled it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it would be in range probably, unless it moves
Okay.
further away.
Alright.
Glaive.
Um. I guess I'll hold my action to just do Mind Sliver if I see it, which has a 60-foot range.
Okay. Teal.
Hmm. See, T-hole. I guess he's going to once again attempt to assuage assuage the dragonborn that he's means them no harm. I'm protecting you.
Trying to protect you.
Right, you can use intimidate too. If you're trying to stop them from running, you might use your power to try to intimidate them into stopping from fleeing away. Since they would be fleeing into you realize now, actually, now that the action has sort of died down, that first of all, you are really incredibly hungry all of a sudden. Probably just the sort of built up, not having eaten over the course of 2 days worth of walking, which you weren't feeling when you were in the spirit realm, but you're feeling it now. They also realize that this area, unlike the normal world, it's actually pretty cold. Like you wonder if it gets nighttime here, it might actually be dangerously cold at night.
Okay. So T-hole will start to growl. If you run, if you keep running, you will die. We must stick together in order to make it out of here alive. Stop. And
you can
he's
Give me an
intimidated.
intimidation check.
All
Do you have
right.
advantage on this or something else?
Yes, I have
Okay.
advantage. Since my visage is active.
That is not quite enough. You can see they're second guessing themselves.
T-hole just like mutters. It's like maybe Robilar had a point. And then and then but he will make no move to like, he won't make any like hostile moves or anything. And that'll be his turn.
Okay. The prisoners again run away off the edge of the map. But we'll just keep them there for convenience sake. Sarius.
Trying to make sure I keep track. Is this turn 3 or 4 on concentration?
This is so the demon snake is technically at the top of the round. So this upcoming will actually be the third turn since you cast it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really ready a spell, so if I do, then it's like concentrating, I believe. So,
Right.
I'm just here, dodging. I'll take the dodge action. There we go.
Okay. You see the snake again reappears. Aurelia, you can fire. It's on the far side of the cage. And so it has a little bit of cover.
Okay. I see.
Although you
Ah.
could try to fly up and over the cage to avoid that.
Okay.
You'd have to go,
Come
you'd
on.
have to go reasonably high, but if you took your whole movement to fly up, you'd clear the cage pretty easily.
Okay, I will do that so I can get a clear shot. Okay, so I got 3 shots at him. Yeah.
For some reason, it's not letting me select him. There we go. So those all hit.
Okay.
Although, the one should have been, the crit should have been 16 damage.
Okay.
And it again swallows the body and then disappears into the sand.
All right.
And it's Clave's turn. Oh,
I'll
sorry.
con-
Sorry. Actually, it's Aurelia's turn again. You were just holding your action.
Um. hmm. So the fly speed is still the same as my movement, right? You don't.
No,
Like
it's like
that.
60 feet.
Oh, okay.
Twice as fast.
Oh
as
shit.
normal.
Okay. Well, Shazam. Um. So I'm gonna fly over to where it dove into the sand. Like it's probably that's about as far as I can get flying.
Well,
'Cause
so
there's-
yeah, you still have you can actually dash. If you only want to move, take your move action, then yeah, you can only move 60 feet. But it was over here.
even if I shoot, uh
Come here. Come here.
yeah, yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll take the dash action and kind of move in the vicinity where it was, move like right there, flying in the air. Assuming it's not going to come up in the same spot, but it's eating corpses.
Right.
Okay.
Now it's Clive's turn.
Presumably refreshing.
I'll continue holding my action for Mind Sliver.
Heal.
Um. Did these guys ran off the edge of the map?
Yes.
There's there. Yeah, T-Hole's gonna let them run. He tried, but you know, you can't save them all. And he is going to walk back over. Next to the cage that Clave has locked himself into. And then he's gonna use his action to take the dodge action. Waiting for this thing to reappear.
Okay, prisoners keep running. Zarius, you doing anything?
Nope, not really. More dodging
And maintaining
Okay.
concentration.
and gonna maintain concentration. That's right.
More importantly,
At the
That's
start of
it.
the fourth round of your concentration, we're just gonna skip ahead to the sixth round of your concentration because it's completely underground and not popping up again. But at the start of that sixth round, it does pop up again, and you hear Dragonborn screams.
They were warned.
And it swallows one of the ones that attacks and dives back into the sand, causing the whole group of them to begin to, what's left of them, to begin to scatter.
how far away are they?
From where you are, they would be, let's see,
For 3 rounds, basically. Running.
well, they also had an extra, yeah. So they would be about like 220 feet away.
Gotcha. So yeah, I guess T-Hole could reach them in a second turn if they could survive that.
So Aurelia, that was way too far away for you to fire your Eldritch Blast. But what do you want to do? I mean, you'll be reasonably sure it's there to eat them.
Do I see T-Hole moving that way? Is he running over there?
Not yet.
Okay. I will fly in their general direction and get ready to Eldritch Blast it when it comes back up to the surface.
So are you going to double move? Because they're also roughly the same distance away from you. So if you moved,
Yeah, I would have to, double move because.
in which case you can't ready the action to blast it.
Yeah. So okay. Well, okay. Yeah, you're right. I'll just head in that direction.
Okay, so you'll be about 100 feet away from them when it's at the top of the next round after this
right.
double move.
Okay.
Clave. You may be tending to other things. So
Yeah.
unless we hear otherwise, he is still concentrating on his spell.
Um,
There he is.
so, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
So T-hole.
T-Hole is going to begrudgingly attempt to try to help these morons. And he's gonna use his action, his bonus action, and his move action to dash. So I'll spend a Kai point so I can use the dash action for my bonus action, but then he'll get 165 feet closer.
Okay. You'll be within 60 feet of their group. Or at least where their group is currently, because like I said, they're all about to scatter in different directions.
Okay. And that's gonna be his turn.
So the remaining ones will begin to scatter. This guy. There. And Sarius's turn.
Could I just like, I don't know, maybe use an action point to just finish out the rest of the banishment now?
I absolutely
I mean-
will let you do that. I would just say it's kind of a special circumstance because it's not really focused on coming after you to try to break your concentration at the moment. So
Indeed.
it will let you take more rounds. If there was a bigger risk of your losing your concentration, I probably wouldn't, because otherwise banishment gets super powerful. You can concentrate on all 10 rounds at once.
Well, I mean, that's why I waited a few rounds in. I
Yeah.
mean, you said we were
But
6
in
in
this-
now, but yeah.
Right.
But I guess it's not necessary. So, it seems like they're moving off, so I'm gonna start coming down from here. How's Clave looking?
He's fine. He's got a level of exhaustion, but that's it.
Mm, that'll at least probably go away. Probably. I mean, I can't move that far. Yeah, so I'll just kind of move, still being cautious, so I'll just like do another dodge. And yeah, I'll be done.
Okay. So T-Hole and Aurelia, in the midst of these fleeing Dragonborn, you see it pops up yet again. And you realize it's looking healthier than it did when you saw it last. It strikes at this one. That's enough to kill that one. So it will swallow it and then move. And strike at this one. Yeah, so it's it. And then it dives into the sand again. And Aurelia, it's your turn. You're within 100 feet of it now. Or at least where it
Okay.
went into the sand again.
So how many more of these living ones are around it?
So there are 3 living Dragonborn left. And from what you would guess, you would assume it's going to move towards the nearest one. which is a little bit closer to you than it was when it disappeared.
Okay. Um. And so if I hold a spell to try to hit it and it doesn't show up, I lose it, right? If it's beyond a cantrip.
Right, technically, yes.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah, I'll just hold the Eldritch Blast, just ready to hit this thing again. Till we can come up with a better tactic.
Okay. Clave.
Um. Yeah, I'm gonna continue with holding for that spell.
Okay. T-hole.
Yeah, T-Hole realizes that seeing this dragon or seeing this thing look healthier, he realized that he is not looking healthier. And I think it was a mistake to come out. So he's gonna go back. He's gonna use this turn to go back to where he was and get on top of a cage. He'll get on top of this cage specifically. That's closest.
So yeah, so you actually moved quite a distance away from where you were on this map. Are you gonna spend a high point to bonus
Yeah,
action, step of the wind?
yeah. I'm basically going all the way back, but going back on or going on top of this cage.
Okay.
Because I've got 60 hit points and that creature is not near death anymore. Or at least it's healthier than it was. So T-Hole doesn't have the resources to take it on alone.
Correct.
So these guys are just gonna start running away from where they last saw it. And Zaris's turn.
Um, so this is turn 7 now, right? Because you said
Yeah.
the last one was 6. All right. Yeah.
Yes.
Um, T-hole's back, right? You said?
Yeah. He's climbed up on top of a cage.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't. There's not a much I could do right now. Um, yeah, I'm just gonna wait. More dodging.
Yeah. So to speed it up, one of these two last guys here gets eaten. The other one is just killed. And there's one remaining Dragonborn. And it's Aurelia's turn. Aurelia, you're close enough. You can get your shots off at it, though. How high up are you flying?
Um. Probably like 30 feet.
So yeah, you're still close enough to get your shots off.
Yuck.
That hits.
Yeah.
That missed. And just to speed things up, I assume, or Aurelia, you would you're gonna do the same thing.
Yeah.
Hold.
Yeah, it seems futile, but I mean, trying to keep
You-
tabs on this thing.
Yeah, do you look any different? Have you taken your action?
Um, well, not that anybody else can see.
Okay. And so yeah, just to speed it up, unless you're doing something different, let me know. Because the snake is gonna eat the last fleeing dragonborn. And Aurelia, you can again take another set of shots at it. And it's now been 8 rounds of concentration.
Yep.
Those are 3 hits. 25 total.
Force it to come back this direction for more bodies.
I mean, it's been leaving a couple bodies behind. It's been eating one body around. But when we get around to its turn, now at round 9 of the concentration. Still about like 200 feet out, because this is where it's been picking off these bodies. It erupts from the sand underneath Aurelia and flies up 30 feet to bite at Aurelia. Oh, except I closed the cheat for some reason.
This time it's within my
No,
mind
they're
sliver.
we've moved off the side of the map.
Oh,
Aurelia is actually like 200 feet away from where you are.
oh, okay.
So I assume all 3 hit.
Who is it? attacking?
Yep. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Aurelia. And it's Aurelia's turn.
Okay. Oh wait, I gotta make a concentration check to see if I'm still flying, right?
Oh yeah, 3 concentration checks.
3 concentration checks. Shit.
You could do it.
Nope.
You want to use an action point?
Hey, did he use all his movement? Because Aurelia
Um,
falls after the first one, and he doesn't have enough movement to reach her to get back down to the ground. Huh?
but
Oh, I
I've
guess
got
it could just fall too.
I've got that ring, so don't I free fall 30 feet?
What is the which ring?
The cat, ring of the black cat.
Oh, right.
Yeah, cannot take damage from falls less than 50 feet. Okay. Yeah, yeah, the fly. I would just, yeah, I don't. That's fine if I'm not flying anymore. I mean, I'll take the other attacks. That's fine. He can hit me on the way down. I
Right. Yes, he definitely strikes you as you fall,
okay.
and then he descends to the sand next to you.
Okay. It's right next to me. Which- blast this dude. Or I can try to get the hell out of here. Didn't check one thing. Okay, that's fire and radiant. I was trying to remember what it was. Wrong button. And
It's a
we
flame
fought
strike.
these things before, and they're immune to fire. I'm assuming, or it heals them or some shit.
Right. Fire doesn't damage them. They're not,
Yeah.
it doesn't heal them either, but it doesn't damage them.
Don't know how much damage I can do with this stupid fucking thing. I could try this spell. I have never tried. Um. Okay, I'm going to try Eyes into the Void. And try to put it asleep.
What is this spell?
It's Eye Bite,
I see.
which I've never used. Wisdom save.
Right. It has less information than the eye bite spell, though. Okay. It curls up and falls asleep.
Okay. So I concentrate on that. Wow, okay. It's the first time I've actually used it.
Well, I think it's just asleep until it takes damage, right?
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Like the concentration is not for the effect, but for the spell because you can target multiple targets.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. I don't know why I questioned it. I mean, it looked into my deep eyes of the void and was stricken and fell asleep. So
Drinking and let you go.
So I will dash back. Ready, I'm assuming Dooflunky's gonna show up at some point.
So you take your move and you get 30 feet closer. So what do people intend to do over the next couple rounds? I'm trying to figure out if I need to go person by person, round by round or not. Aurelia has apparently put the creature to sleep, or killed it. It's pretty far away at this point. It's hard to tell the difference. But she does seem to be sort of, running back.
I I guess Clave would call out, is it dead?
It is sleeping.
Should kill it. Let's finish it. Long as we're here and it's here, it's a threat to us.
Maybe all of us together. I don't think I could coup de grace this thing by myself. So
Keyhole calls out, you definitely can't.
From the top of the cage.
Top of the gate. But he says that you're far enough away that he uses his booming voice. So it says you definitely can't, so loud that it travels 600 feet in either direction.
I am so tempted to wake that thing
I'm
up.
about to say, if you wake this thing up, I'm gonna kick your ass.
I guess T-hole is
I mean, basically, it takes Aurelia 3 rounds to get back to the group. You have another 7 rounds that will be asleep.
so T-hole is going to bide his time, I guess. He's
The banishment's complete, right?
Yep.
I've forgotten that fucking dude's name, but
Robilar.
Robilar will not bother us for now, at least. We should see if we can finish off this demon now, while it is still asleep.
Yes.
All right, who's got a high damage attack spell or ability that involves an attack roll? Because apparently it's picky about it. I have a thing.
I've got my arms. And I can maybe stun it.
Well, I could hit it with lightning, assuming that it would auto fail its dex save if it's asleep. But I wouldn't assume anything.
I mean, it could roll over.
It's incapacitated, so it fails them automatically. I don't know. It says if let me just show it here. The next time me or an ally hits it with an attack, it does the thing. I don't know if that is rolled as specifically an attack roll. Or if any hostile spell that requires a saving throw might also count for it.
Yeah, hit with an attack is defined as requiring an attack roll.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So I need something that requires an attack roll.
Well, I would assume that if we all went up there, we would all get at least a shot at it before it got to move. It would be like a surprise for it.
Right.
I mean, otherwise I can, do it myself and
I mean, right.
activate I could do
you
my
essentially could
my
all-
staff, but
Mhm.
I
You
don't
could all
know.
definitely get attacks in before it gets to move at all.
I can't remember its poison effect on it. Like, does it? I don't think it affected it at all, right?
Which did you use poison on it?
I don't think actually. You know what? I take it back. Because we learned if you hit it physically, then you would take fire damage, though, right? That was the whole
Right.
thing.
Right.
And I
If you
didn't
were
want to. I didn't want to
within 5
damage
feet.
the staff. By activating it and then hitting it with it, and then just my staff is destroyed suddenly. That was what I was thinking originally. So that's
Right.
I probably will not do that unless its flames seem to be diminished while it's asleep.
No, it's actually still pretty hot.
Yeah.
But Teal's poison was working on it.
Okay.
But that may be something special about Teal's poison amulet.
Yeah, and Teal's he's not wearing that amulet anymore. So
I'm just looking through my own spells. If I have something, my guiding bolt, make it vulnerable to that. That could be nice. Unless anybody has anything better, I'll probably use that.
nope.
Me.
Well, then let us do this. In fact, let me go first. Perhaps. As far as hitting it goes. I don't know if that matters, because as soon as it's hit, it wakes up. So I figured hit it with this spell that gives the next person advantage on their attack roll on it.
Yeah, that
Wow.
makes sense.
Yeah.
So you all make your way. Well, I assume you're making your way out. Is everybody going out to attack this thing?
Yes.
I have to be at least within 30 feet of it.
You can put yourself where you like.
Stay. Requisite 10 feet.
I still would like to be somewhat close to people. So as to prevent criticals, if possible. Yeah, and then I'd probably have to do an action point to both activate my channel divinity, and then also
I mean, you could activate it in one round and then agree everybody goes to the next round. Or does it have to be all in the same round? Does it say that?
just before, what does it say again? Until the end of my next turn. So
Right. So you could go activate this in one round and then attack the next round.
assuming that, yeah. We get the, yeah, I mean. I'm
And just
sure
tell
we can
everyone
coordinate the
knows.
timing, yeah.
Right, not to go until after you cast a spell.
Yeah. Yeah, so I will do my channel divinity. And mark this thing, guaranteeing its path to the grave. So it is vulnerable to the next thing. All right. And then I will cast this guiding bolt. At 3rd level, I guess, probably. Just let's get some extra damage in this motherfucker.
That hit.
Amazing. 21 doubled because it's vulnerable.
Yep. Who wants to go next?
Clave will cast Phantasmal Killer.
What save is that?
Wisdom.
Failed.
That way, if it runs away, it'll potentially keep taking damage.
Or if it swallows T-hole.
Teal's gonna punch it.
The
So
first
you
one
have-
has advantage.
Right. So the 17 and the 26 hit.
Let's see. Did you still fucking somehow manage to miss?
Yeah, what's up with that? And I'm gonna attempt a stunning strike. Man. This has rolled well. Yeah, I'm gonna attempt it again with the other hit. Because you can do it once per hit.
So it's stunned.
Cool.
And Aurelia, what are you doing?
I'm gonna back away in case it has its fire singes me.
So it actually,
So it fails its save
Oh,
automatically,
okay.
but so it takes the full damage. And it's your turns again. So what is Zarius doing?
I think I'll just toll the dead on it. Oh, I made it.
And Clave.
I'm gonna cast Mind Sliver on it.
Oh, failed.
Nice. Yeah.
And does it take more phantasmal killer damage?
On the end of its turn, I think.
Okay, well, yeah, technically it skipped its turn because it's stunned, so
Oh,
we should do that now. Failed. And that is enough to kill it. So technically it was the mind sliver that killed it.
Nice.
nice. Oh, gosh.
And I do wish Robilar had been here to see it kill all of the Dragonborn.
What Robilar would have wanted.
Right. Well,
Clave is
we-
very disappointed by this circumstance.
yeah.
so
I
looking around, you realize that they were probably encamped here at one point. How this whole fight went down, you're not exactly sure. It seems like best evidence you have, like probably they were encamped and Robilar attacked them. But you can find the remains of campfires and burnt food as the fight went on quite a while. At what point they were releasing slaves is a little unclear, but clearly 3 of the 4 cages were emptied out. And Robilar was just picking through them, killing off the potential sacrifices as well as attacking the giants. And he did seem, a little bit beat up, but he wasn't really that close to dropping. And it may be a function of the fact that he has an insane number of attacks.
Clave is gonna sit down and study the components of the bag. He's particularly interested in the compass, wondering how a compass is gonna be helpful in a place like this.
So yeah, just to be clear, it's a drafting compass. So like the kind you draw circles with.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a directional compass.
So
Well,
it is
in that,
not useful here at all.
yeah. In that
Yeah,
case,
so-
I'm gonna ritually cast comprehend languages to read the journal.
So the journal, it seems to be the private thoughts of the individual giant who was carrying it. So it's a, fairly big tome. You don't see too much in the way of like useful intelligence. But it's probably going to take a while to read through the whole book, like at least a couple hours to read through the whole book to see if there's anything useful in there. A lot of it's kind of banal day-to-day insights about its life, relationships that the giant was having, some of which weren't going so well.
I think Clave would be interested in just the most recent passages.
Yeah, so most recently you see that the giant was very disappointed to have been assigned to this particular mission because first of all, it required going into this non-physical world that it did not want to be in because it was very body proud. I'm not all that fond of being nothing but a disincorporated mind. But also, you're trucking with this southern sage, which everything the giant was told about it was that it is as likely to kill you as answer your questions. And then it wasn't even like led to know what questions would be asked. That was the leader of the expedition. And this particular giant was just more the person in charge of the sacrifices. So kind of like the slave master of the group. And that seems to have been its primary role in giant society was it was a slave trader. And so most of these slaves were bought from him. There was a cage of demons that they didn't bring along, which you had seen when it was outside the gates, that they procured from other sources, but it was ultimately decided that they wouldn't really need them because they had enough slaves to get through it. The very last entry is that coming out of the spirit realm into this demiplane, they were all famished and decided they just couldn't march another step until they fed. So they were getting ready to set up camp, at which point they were going to move further into the mountains to find what he believed to, or he was told, was a trail that would be marked by some sort of giant blade buried in the ground. And that trail, that path, would lead to the cave in which the southern sage resides.
Okay.
So what do you
Well,
want to do? You're all,
when-
by the way, similarly famished as were the giants.
When he ritually cast that spell, I would have ritually cast detect magic, just and then kind of walked around the camp here.
You do find some magical items in the camp. They're mostly like giant sized. There are 3 magical swords, each of which is approximately like 15 feet long. There is 1 magical bag. It's also giant sized, but it weighs about 30 pounds.
Magical
Inside
bag, huh?
right, inside all you see is just food. Seemingly normal food, but the bag is somehow magical.
I'll pull food out.
So you pull the food out. It doesn't seem like there's more food than you would expect the bag could have held. The
I
bag was
close it and
freezing.
reopen it.
And it's empty after you pull all the food out.
Okay. Is it a bag of colding?
Doesn't seem to be that. You'd have to spend like a good short rest with it trying to figure out how it works or what it does.
Yeah, I don't know. So I'll point out all the things that are magical in case any of them resize themselves in accordance to its wielder.
That's not how the swords work, or
Yeah.
this bag.
How big is this bag exactly?
So empty, I should say, empty, it's about 30 pounds. Full, it weighs about 50 pounds.
It's a big fucking bag.
Right. But it is designed to be like a belt pouch for the giants. But it's the size of a pretty large sack for you. Like it's, more than 6 feet long.
Just good reminder how small we are. Compared.
Right. Like 3 of you could, if you needed to, crawl inside as like a sleeping bag. Because it's also like 6 feet wide and 6 feet long.
Um, if we start searching around the bodies, particularly with the giants, do we find much more gold or anything?
Yeah, all of the giants have their own small supply of gold, and some have platinum. So
What
you're
is
gonna
this?
take time to gather that stuff up.
Yeah.
How about the statue?
The statue is gold.
If I were to like climb up and get closer to the head.
So the gemstones in the head are definitely special, in that they appear to be made of this void stuff, or at least they're like stones containing small pockets of the void. The black on the body and in the nails of the creature appears to be made of somehow of giant shards of onyx.
But no magic necessarily.
No, it doesn't seem to be magical.
Okay. Will? Well, there's food at least. They had food in that bag, so we can at least eat.
I'm starving.
Yeah. So all in all, you find searching through all of the giants, 1,500 gold pieces, 190 platinum pieces, 3 diamonds, 3 emeralds, and a black pearl.
Diamonds will come in handy.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
How much diamonds?
3
3
diamonds.
Estimated value?
uh, Someone want to make an investigation check? I mean, with disadvantage because none of you are like jewelers.
I already have disadvantage, so there.
Sure. It's worth a lot. It's worth big money, Zarius. Big money.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I perhaps might have some, not necessarily, I don't know, some sort of maybe innate knowledge of diamond values and their use in spellcasting, specifically the spells that I have to cast sometimes.
I mean, I will let you roll without disadvantage. Mostly because you're Dragonborn. So you would guess the diamonds are worth 500 gold pieces each.
You
That's a
said that there
revive.
was 1,500 gold pieces and 190 platinum.
Yeah.
So it's 375 gold each. And 47 platinum each with some remainder there.
Sorry, how many friggin' diamonds again? Oh, there it is. You
3.
got it. Cool.
So what do you want to do? Are you going to rest and eat? Inspect this bag?
Yeah.
Rest and eat is a good idea.
Yeah. T-Hole's on board with that.
Okay, so who was investigating the bag? Zarius?
Sure.
So make me another investigation roll.
It's okay, I guess. Oh.
So you feel like there's something about producing food from the bag, but you're not exactly sure. Like once you've emptied it, it's not automatically refilling.
Mm-hmm.
But the food you took out of it doesn't seem to be disappearing either. And it's definitely, better fare than you get from Create Food and Water.
Hmm.
But how you control the bag, you're not exactly sure yet.
Does it appear to be producing giant-sized food? Like just massive cookies or something? Just like,
The
a
food that
person-sized
was
beef jerky or something?
the food that was in there was sized for a giant. I'm apparently going to lose Zoom because it's telling me it's not responding.
Uh-oh,
Oh no.
unusually large apples.
Right. It is like giant fruit, giant like hunks of like ham.
Yeah,
So not only is it better fare, it's also king sized.
Right.
This is
Though that may be a function of like who used it to create the food. So maybe if you used it, it would make something more suitable for your size.
So we're essentially taking a short rest.
Yep.
yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna use my arcane recovery. Get some spell slots back.
So yeah, your best bet on this bag is to like wait and see if it like replenishes after a day. But it's definitely not at will.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And it's extremely heavy. But once your short rest is over, what do you want to do? Did Zoom finally end for me? It sounds like it.